Would you trust your next 100,000 miles to a turbo hybrid? Because that's what Ford's betting on with the next-gen F-150. The Powerboost hybrid already cranks out more torque than the 5.0-liter V8 and even beats the EcoBoost in combined MPG. It's got serious towing chops, it's quiet, and it even powers your campsite like a mobile generator. But here's the kicker. Start digging past the spec sheet, and you'll find some owners sweating sensor failures, 12-volt glitches, and what happens when all that high-tech wizardry starts acting up after the warranty ends. So the question is simple. Are we looking at a V8 killer or a $60,000 mistake that leaves you stranded on the side of the road? Stick around, because we're breaking down the real-world numbers, owner headaches, and long-term costs that nobody talks about. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which powertrain fits your life, and which one to avoid like a bad axle ratio. So, what's actually cooking under the hood for 2026? Well, don't expect Ford to throw the whole engine lineup in the dumpster. The 2.7 twin-turbo, the 3.5 EcoBoost, the good old 5.0 V8, all of them are likely sticking around. But the Powerboost hybrid? That's the one Ford's quietly pushing harder. And it makes sense. EV demand's been slipping, but regulators are still breathing down automakers' necks. Hybrids are the sweet spot. No charging, better MPG, and they check just enough green boxes to keep the feds happy. Now, here's where it gets interesting. There's chatter that Ford's working on a next-gen turbo hybrid setup, maybe pairing the 3.5-liter EcoBoost with an upgraded electric motor and better battery cooling. Not a full EV, but definitely not your granddad's V8 either. Dealer leaks? Slim. But owner forums are buzzing. Some claim the full refresh might slide into 2027, while others say 2026 is a go, with more hybrid trims, not fewer. And the biggest concern isn't performance, it's this. Ford is layering more tech onto a truck that already got dinged by Consumer Reports for reliability. So, yeah, it might out-torque your V8. But at what cost? On paper, the Powerboost hybrid isn't just competing, it's winning. You're looking at 430 horsepower and a ridiculous 570 pound-feet of torque. That's more twist than the 5.0-liter V8 and the regular 3.5-liter EcoBoost. And fuel economy? Mid-20s combined if you're not hauling bricks up a mountain. For a full-size truck, that's impressive. Now, compare that to the V8, 400 horses, 410 torque, and significantly lower MPG, especially if your foot's heavy. The V8 still sounds amazing, sure. It's got that clean pull, mechanical simplicity, and a soul. But in raw specs, it's starting to look, well, dated. And towing. Surprisingly, the hybrid's no slouch. It'll still pull over 11,000 pounds if you spec it right. The EcoBoost gas version edges everyone out for max tow at over 13,000, but the hybrid's got real muscle where most people actually use it. Midweight trailers, boats, campers, tools, you name it. So yeah, the hybrid's looking strong. Power, torque, efficiency. It's checking boxes left and right. But here's the thing nobody tells you. Those aren't the numbers that keep people up at night. It's what breaks at 75,000 miles. And what happens when that torque monster battery starts acting up. Stick around, because this next part could save you thousands on your next truck. Okay, big torque numbers are cool. But how does the hybrid actually perform when you hook up a trailer or load the bed with gear? Here's where things get a little muddy. The 3.5-liter EcoBoost gas engine, when properly configured, still holds the crown for max towing, just over 13,000 pounds. The 5.0-liter V8 isn't far behind. But the Powerboost hybrid tops out around 12,700 pounds if you option it perfectly. That sounds great, until you look at payload. The hybrid's got that battery pack sitting underneath. That extra weight eats into your payload rating, meaning if you're towing a big camper and you've got 4 passengers, some gear, and maybe a couple dirt bikes in the bed, you might already be maxed out. And if you spec the wrong axle ratio or skip the max tow package, you could lose thousands of pounds of towing capacity without even realizing it. So here's your mini transformation. You now know that not all trucks are built equal, even with the same engine. 2 identical-looking F-150s can have wildly different tow and payload ratings depending on how they're optioned. That's why next week, I'm breaking down exactly how to read a window sticker and spot dealer builds that screw you before you even leave the lot. Subscribe so you don't miss it. But for now, let's get into the real problem. Because all that shiny new tech under the hood, it's already making reliability scores nosedive. Here's where the hybrid starts to lose its shine. If you check consumer reports, you'll notice something ugly. The Powerboost F-150, especially those early 2021 and 2022 models, got hammered on predicted reliability. Not just drivetrain stuff either. We're talking electrical gremlins, charging system faults, infotainment crashes, even trailer brake controller issues. But is it really the hybrid system's fault? That's where the debate gets spicy. A lot of owners will tell you straight up, it's not the hybrid parts breaking. It's the same garbage affecting all Gen 14 trucks. Dead 12V batteries, glitchy modules, random warning lights. In fact, some long-term testers like Edmunds drove the Powerboost for over a year and didn't report a single hybrid-specific failure. Sure, fuel economy was a bit underwhelming, and they had one bad infotainment brain box. But no hybrid meltdown, no battery disasters, no roadside drama. So what's the deal? It's a mix. The hybrid adds complexity to a truck that was already dealing with first-gen software hiccups. And while it's not grenading engines left and right, the more systems you stack in, the more that can go wrong. And that brings us to the real concern. What happens after the 60,000-mile powertrain warranty runs out? Because the next part? That's where your wallet's either safe or wide open. Let's talk about the part Ford never puts in the brochure, Year 4. Once that powertrain warranty runs out at 60,000 miles, things get real. And if you're the kind of guy who keeps a truck past 100K, you're not alone in wondering if this hybrid is built to last, or just built to survive its lease term. Owner forums are starting to tell the story. We're seeing threads pop up about leaking axle seals, heat exchanger issues, weird electrical bugs, and the infamous truck won't recognize its own trailer error. Some of it's minor. But when your dash lights up like a Christmas tree on a camping trip, it doesn't feel minor. A lot of these problems aren't catastrophic, but they're unpredictable. And that's the worst kind of truck problem, because it kills your confidence in the rig. You're suddenly asking yourself, do I need extended warranty? Should I trade it in early? What if the hybrid battery module goes at 92,000 miles? And here's the scary part. There's no massive recall or class action lawsuit to warn you. These issues don't hit every truck. They hit random ones, which means it's a roll of the dice. So if you're wondering, can I trust this thing past 100K? The honest answer is nobody knows yet. But let's make this a smarter gamble. In the next section, I'll break down exactly which kind of buyer should roll the dice on the hybrid, and who should walk straight back to that 5.0 V8. All right, if you're still torn, let's make this easy. You don't need a crystal ball. You just need to know how you plan to use your truck. If you tow heavy, like a 30-foot camper, equipment trailers, or you've got steep mountain grades in your life, you want the 3.5-liter EcoBoost gas with the max tow package. Period. It's built for abuse, and it's still the king of the hill for pure pulling power. If you're somewhere in the middle, you haul a mid-size boat, maybe a dirt bike trailer, but you also commute a lot and fuel costs bug you. That's where the hybrid shines. It gives you torque when you need it, quiet cruising in town and real gas savings over time. Just budget for tech hiccups and watch your payload numbers. Now, if you're the keep it forever type, if you want to wrench on it yourself, drive it into the dirt, and pass it down to your kid one day, go V8. The 5.0 is simple, proven, and every shop knows how to work on it. It might not be sexy, but it'll never ghost you with some random software update. And finally, if you're a job site guy or a weekend warrior who loves running tools straight from the bed, only one answer: hybrid with Pro Power. That onboard generator is a game changer. So, which one sounds like you? So, you're looking at that hybrid thinking, well, it'll save me money on gas, right? Sure, it might. But let's zoom out. You'll pay more upfront for the Powerboost, usually a few $1,000s over the gas-only versions. Now, over 5 years of ownership, you might save $2,000 to $3,000 at the pump if gas prices stay high and you're driving a lot of miles. But that's assuming everything else stays smooth. The real wild card? Repairs and resale. Hybrids have more parts, more software, more systems that need updates. And while the electric motors themselves have a good track record, it's the little things, the modules, relays, sensors, that can nickel and dime you after the warranty expires. Some owners are already setting aside money for extended warranties just in case. Resale? Early data shows hybrids are holding value better than expected, mostly because gas prices spiked and demand surged. But will that hold up long-term if reliability concerns grow? No one really knows yet. You might get top dollar, or you might be sitting on a $50,000 "who wants to buy this thing" gamble in 6 years. And here's one last money-saving tip. The safest bet right now might not be the newest truck, but the last year of a proven setup. 2024 and 2025 Powerboosts are already out there, and they've had time to debug most of the Gen 14 gremlins. So if you're buying with your wallet and not just your gut, the next section might help you seal the deal. So, is this new hybrid setup a V8 killer? Or is it just a shiny time bomb waiting to off itself the second you cross 100,000 miles? Honestly, it depends on you. If you rotate trucks every 3 to 4 years, want torque on demand, and like the idea of a mobile generator in your bed, the Powerboost, or whatever its 2026 cousin becomes, is probably your dream setup. It's fast, quiet, efficient, and makes your neighbor's Silverado feel like a dinosaur. But if you're old school, if you believe trucks should be simple, wrenchable, and still alive at 200,000 miles, then don't let the torque numbers fool you. The 5.0 V8 is still your safest long-term bet. It may not win on paper, but it wins where it matters: durability, predictability, and peace of mind. So now I want to hear from you. What's your truck life expectancy? Do you trade up at 60,000 or drive it till the wheels fall off? Drop your answer in the comments. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button. Next week, we're breaking down how to read the actual tow rating off your door jamb so you don't get ripped off by a bad dealer spec. Because now you know, numbers on paper mean nothing if your truck can't deliver when it counts.